Welcome back, Thrivers, to this week's episode where I am clearing some of the land to pop a tent up. Very exciting!
My mission on this earth is to connect you to the magic of nature, to thrive physically and globally, to bring the principles of the rainforest into your everyday life. Join me on this journey as I interview changemakers around the world and experiment with permaculture, syntropic agroforestry, and so much more. Hi, my name's Haley Weatherburn, and welcome to Thriving with Nature. Click subscribe to join the adventures each week.
Hey Thrivers, welcome to this week's episode. We are about to do a big adventure. I am going to be cutting down a little area where I believe the house is going to be and popping a tent there because I want to sleep there tonight. But I just wanted to, I'm just up here. I've got that's the view. So we've got that's a mangosteen tree. I don't know how that there. Coconut tree. And the view is beautiful down there, but it's hard to see in this camera. But I'm just, because I'm about to do, probably the biggest clearing since I got the land, apart from this temporary lookout. And, I just suddenly had a moment of like, is that really where I want to put the house? And so, just going to sit down. So the reason why I'm putting the house where I'm putting it, which is going to be over behind that, on the other side of that mangosteen towards the view. So, because I was like, shouldn't I bring the house up a little bit? What happens if I had the house halfway here? And because this side's going to be veggie gardens, because the sun, was looking at the sun calculator, and it rises pretty much and sets on this half of my land. And if I have a big house in the middle of it, that means likelihood is anything on that side of the house will be in shade. And I like as much sun as possible, especially if I want to have a grass area where I can sunbake, I want a pool, I want an outside area that's in the sun mostly, with a bit of shade, but I don't want to be in, I don't get attracted towards shadows and shades. Does that make sense? So yeah, if I put the house right up the back, it's closer to the neighbours, which you don't really want. And then just in front of it will be mostly in shade. I mean, the sun's up high now, but in the mountains, you want to make sure you get as much of the sun, and most of the sun is during the morning, because it does rain more often in the afternoons. So you want to make sure any part of the sun is not covered, so your veggies are getting all of that. I know that clearing some trees here, it's really hard to clear some trees that are like 20 years old. These are some coffee trees that I'll be clearing. And you want to make sure you've really thought it through. So that's why, this is this last minute freak out. And I think I've come to the same conclusion. I still want the house there, because there's also the mangosteen tree, which is beautiful. And I was like, oh, do I really want to cut that mangosteen? It's one of the reasons why I got it, this piece of land, was because of the mangosteen tree. And that's not a reason to stay attached to it, but it's a mangosteen tree. They're like the lollies of the forest. And so it's an interesting moment. But I think like I said, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and get started. So let's do it. All right, so this whole corner will eventually be potentially my house. My bedroom will be up there with a beautiful view. And so I'm going to cut down some of these coffee trees. This is a coffee tree here. But I want to preserve the roots. In my old house, the landlord had found this stump with these tree roots and turned it into a chandelier, and it was one of the most amazing features ever. And so as a memoriam, as a, honouring to these beautiful trees that have been around for so long, I want to make sure I'm honouring them, and I think I might be able to turn them into chandeliers for the house eventually. So if I can think about that moving forward, I'm going to cut them down. So normally you'd cut them down a certain way, but yeah, I've got an idea of how I'm going to do it. So let's see if that works. want to show you something. So, the tree's a bit tangled. There's a couple of things that are coming to my mind. You've got to watch out because the ants like to create nests in here. See that? I'm freaking out a bit. The second is, you'll see there's some ripe coffee on here. So I'm going to actually try and find the ones that are red and dry them out and give them a whirl. You know, part of me is like, should I be waiting until they're red and harvest them? But it could be a couple more months. Normally it was September last year. Yeah, it's a little bit skewy at the moment, and it's 4,000 per bag, which is 40 cents per kilo, sorry. So I'm just weighing up the options, and for me right now, yeah, I'm okay with sacrificing the opportunity of, you know, even if it was 10 kilos of coffee, which seems like a lot. I don't know if there'd be 10 kilos in this little land. That's $4. So I think I'm okay. But I might save some of the red ones and see if I can dry them and make my own coffee, even though I don't drink coffee. But I think it'd be quite rewarding to grow and drink your own. So that's something that I will do. Anyway, let's keep going. Lots to do. I am currently cutting down a cacao tree. It's really sad because the landlord ring-barked a lot of the cacao. This was one he didn't ring-bark, but it's one that's right where everything's going to be, so it's kind of sad. But on the other hand, it's satisfying when you get to, I don't know what it is about it, to clean and feel like you're doing something. Anyway, let's cut this tree down. Hey, I want to show you something. So I said ring-bark before, and some of you might not know what that means. And let me just show you. So see here, I'm cutting this tree. This is the cacao. See how this is all dry? This is like wood you would know if you went and bought some just normal wood. See how this is wet? It's around this outside that the tree is actually alive. All of this is dead. This is old tree, and that's why normally you can see some tree rings. I've hacked it, so it's a bit hard to see. But if you want to kill a tree without cutting it down, all you have to do is cut off this ring bark. So, see that? See that? That there is where all the water and nutrients and all the exudates that get made from photosynthesis go down into the roots. Through this, they travel through that. That is dead. That's the dried wood we know as, and that is the wet wood. So yeah, so what you would do is you'd take that ring bark off around the outside of the tree, and that is how you would kill a tree. It's a very slow death, and it can take a year, which is a bit sad. And some of these trees that have been ring barked up around there are still fruiting because they're freaking out because they know they're dying. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to give you that little piece of information if you didn't already know. want to show you something. So often on these coffee trees and things, you'll see this stuff sort of growing on the outside, and I found out that it really strangles and takes the plant. But I wanted to show you something. Look what's inside this one. Can you see that? That bug? That insect living in there? Can you see it coming out? But it's fascinating. It's hiding. You won't want to be in the sun. Little birds would eat that. So the birds land on the trees. But yeah, you want to take this stuff off because it's taking, excuse me, it's taking all the photosynthesis, like it's taking place of where leaves could be for the photosynthesis. And also it's attached to the plant, so it'd be taking out the, look at this, it's coming right out. I think it doesn't know where to go. It's very interesting. Let me try and get it close up. Anyway, oh my gosh, my belly is rumbling and I have, not bad, the sun is hot now that because it's so cool under the trees, like 10 degrees cooler under the coffee trees. You know, these are things you want to, like, 10 degrees cooler. Let me show you what I've done. So, I've cleared all the trees just here. I'm going to put the tent just up here and look at the view I can now see. The only thing in the way is that nunca jackfruit tree, which is going to get cut down. Well, what we're going to do next is we're going to have lunch first. But then I need to cut up all that wood and get all the coffee beans, the green and the red. I'm going to try and dry some. But clear a spot for the tent and get the tent in here tonight. And then I want to try and uproot some of these, the bottom of those coffee trees, to see if we can turn them into some chandeliers or something for my future home. Anyway, I definitely feel like lunch. All right, I've just arrived at one of my favorite warungs here. Oh, I need my wallet. Let's have a look. Siang, sore siang. 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 Kamu punya? Tahu isi?
Ini.
Oh, this is so yummy. This is stuffed tofu. I'm definitely going to have some of those. Bisa saya punya tipat cantok tanpa tipat dengan nasi ya?
Oh ya.
Sayur ya?
Tiga.
Yeah, 4. So I'm going to eat one now. This is stuffed tofu. It's so delicious. And I've just ordered some satay and veggies. Yeah, so let's do that. Oh. I'll show you, this is yummy. You have it with a chili. Okay. Chili. I'll set a plastic bag. Saja di dalam.
Ada di sini.
Nah. Tidak apa-apa. Saya tidak suka menggunakan banyak plastik ya. Oh.
14. Makasih.
Terima kasih banyak. Now I have a full belly, it's back to work. My next challenge is to dig up this root to see if I could use it as a chandelier. Some help turned up and this guy helped me cut the rest of this root out of the ground. Hello! These beautiful people are coming and taking some of the coffee, which is great.
Yeah.
Where's your coffee? Coffee. So they're collecting the coffee? Yeah, bagus. So they're going to take some of the coffee, which is really great. Awesome.
These beautiful souls helped me out again with another stump. I think it was a great exchange. They got a bit of extra coffee that they weren't expecting, and I got a little bit of extra hand. The community here is just so sharing and giving. It's really interesting for me to get used to all this help. Now it's time to flatten the area where I want to put the tent up.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. It's been a big day, clearing all those trees, digging out that coffee, the coffee roots, which is really cool. Hopefully might be able to turn that into like a light, like a chandelier, natural chandelier. And right now I've just got my tent, so I'm gonna put my tent up, and I might spend the first night on my land ever. Exciting! All right, let's get to it before it gets dark. My tent. I've got my Anastasia book, I've got a sleeping bag, except I'm gonna go have some dinner and get a change of clothes, I think. May even have a shower and then come back. Yeah, pretty excited. It's been a big day. Excited that I actually have somewhere that I could sleep on the land. And yeah, it's kind of surreal actually to be thinking that one day this could be the house. What's going through my mind at the moment is actually, do I just put a temporary build on here so I can move on here? But I only live 1 kilometer away. But it's funny, I was saying to my brother, because he was asking, you know, it's only 1 kilometer. And I said, yeah, but sometimes just being able to sit on the land, you know, while you're cooking or while you're doing something and just observing what's going on around you. Where's the sun? Oh, when that rains, that happens. When it's windy, that happens. All of those things. So do I just stay in my cabin and then build the house that I want? Or do I get myself on the land and start the process of having people here and the farming and all those kind of things that I want to do, build the farm and get the agro-tourism happening? Or do I want to get my house first and then the agro-tourism? It's a process that I've got to think about, and it's based on budget. If I had all the money in the world, I'd just get this house started so I could move here and here's my house done. Now I can do everything else. That would be ideally what I would do. But because I don't have that budget to just do the house first, and I've got to remember, so today you may have seen in the filming, the bigger piece of the land is still owned by the landowner, and I hope to get that soon. But they're still, oh, it's hot. They're still farming on that land. And part of me just wants to get the bigger piece of land, to get that started, to get that company started and hire people. Yeah, as you can see, there's lots of thoughts going on in my head. This is such a big journey. It's been a big day. I did a big day today. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell to stay tuned for this journey, to see which way it's going. This is very exciting, and I'm really grateful that you're joining me on this journey, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye for now. All right, gosh, this is so this is not a good angle. So I'm in the tent. It's my first night. It's about 2 meters behind me. I've heard something fall. It sounded like a coconut. But let's listen. So quiet. Just sounds like nature. And the stars are amazing. I wish I could video them. Anyway, it's my first night on the land. See how we go.
Stay tuned for the episode coming up where my brother comes to visit and help me out.